Hello and welcome to the 14th episode of the TheDarkNest Podcast. I'm your host, TDN Horror Stories, and as always, I'm joined by my feathered co-host, As the Raven Dreams.
Hello.
Today is pretty exciting, I have to say. We're joined by someone who's inspired so many people to be narrators, including myself, to just jump into this narrating scene, and whose thumbnails even inspired me to put my absolute all into learning graphic design. He's loved by so many in the community, and for good reason. The man is a teddy bear to everyone he interacts with. Please give a warm welcome to Let's Read.
Hello there.
Sorry, I stumbled over my words there because I'm sick.
No worries.
Usually pretty fluent with the intro there, but I fucked it up. I'm sorry.
You did all right, man. Come on, you're good.
Nah. But how's it going, man?
It is fantastic.
Are you fantastic?
I'm all stuffed up from the Thanksgiving festivities. I feel like I had like 3 full course meals in a row.
Oh, wow.
Now I'm fat and jolly. So
I could barely eat on Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. Yikes.
Yeah, that's when the core of my sickness was happening.
Oh, that's the worst time.
Yeah, so we were all of us were sick. We ate our Thanksgiving dinner in our rooms.
Okay. Everybody isolated.
Yeah, it sucked.
It was a Zoom Thanksgiving.
And it was the one Thanksgiving that we were trying something different, where we were gonna do fried chicken instead of like turkey.
Oh, yeah.
And it came out really, really good. The fried chicken was really, really good. It would just suck that I wanted everybody to be like around the table, like, "Wow, this is so good!" Like,
Right, yeah.
Because I was making it, and it was gonna be my first time where I was making like a main course for something. So I really wanted, but it didn't work out because everybody got sick. So I'm really sad about that.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
No,
Yeah.
no,
That's
you're
sad.
not. You don't care. You ate.
Damn.
You stuffed your face.
We got to experience the festivities.
You got to experience the festivities. I'm watching everybody on Twitter, and they're all like, "Oh, so much food! Come over for leftovers." And I'm like, I couldn't even eat anything for there to be left over. Like, I'm pretty sure. What?
Did you catch it at work or something like that?
I think my uncle caught it, and then he brought it home,
okay.
and then my grandma caught it, and then I caught it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. But they had it way worse than I did. I'm pretty sure I'm on the tail end of something here, and I did not get it as bad at all as they did. Like, they had fever and chills, and, like, it looked like COVID. Like, it was bad.
Right.
But currently, all I have is, like, a congested head. I mean, the last couple days sucked. I was, like, aching, but that was about it. There was no fever or anything. No chills, no fever. If anybody's listening and they're they're going through COVID, or if they're sick, I hope you feel better, and I hope that a vaccine comes by soon, so we can get this whole fucking thing gone. Right. Because it's horrible. It's scary. I'm worried for any time I cough and it doesn't feel like I swallowed something wrong, I get scared. Like,
Mm-hmm. I feel that, man.
As soon as I started feeling sick, I was like, oh no. I was terrified as I started getting the symptoms of getting like a fever and the chills, but I never got it. So I don't know. I have no idea. But hey, Let's Read is here.
I am. Yes, I'm a little about the same as COVID. Spread like wildfire everywhere.
Nice segue, Dark.
So it's actually pretty funny that about 2-3 weeks ago, you probably had no idea who I was.
Right. Yeah. And then you came in clutch with the thumbnails.
The thumbnails, which has been one of the best times as a creator that I've ever had, because I've never been. I don't know if you know this, but you bring a certain caliber with you, I think. Like, you bring a certain, like, there's something to you and your thumbnails that whoever you ask, I feel has to, like, they get nervous a little bit. Like, not because of who you are, but of, like, how you hold yourself, I think.
Oh, okay.
More of like your quality has to kind of stay a standard. So your audio quality, your story quality, and your just your overall channel quality has to stay the same regardless of how you get your content. So you asking me to do a thumbnail was one of the scariest fucking things I think I've ever been asked in my life, because I still have never put that much work into my own thumbnails, because you look at what Robin does and you're like, well, I can't not try. Because he's an insane artist, and I still am nowhere near his level, but I really tried to capture that. It was the hardest thing ever.
I really think you did. You know what I mean? Like as soon as, because I was kind of nervous. I mean, there's been a few times where unfortunately Robin's computer has taken a poop, and you know, I just I'm like, oh man, and pretty much everything I do is kind of like constantly on the move or last minute. And so I'm like, I got to throw this out there on Twitter and see who's into this. And it was funny because I got quite a few responses, but I felt like yours, I was really fortunate to meet you because yours fit that perfect niche. And you were already very familiar with the sort of horror narration communities, you know, standard there. So that was some perfect divine timing there we had.
That was crazy. And all it was that Swamp was like, hey, yeah, this guy's cool. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
If he picks me, I'll never stop. I will do it forever. I don't care. Even if Robin comes back, I will do it. I'll be like, just take mine.
And I think that's what's been so cool about, you know, experiencing on YouTube is just like learning what it means to like network with people and kind of grow in that fashion. Sometimes I'm not the best at it when it comes to like really getting myself out there, because I tend to get a little bit lazy, I suppose. But I've definitely, it's just more, I guess, in many ways, like created some really good icebreakers for making friends, at the very least.
Yeah, honestly, that's the way it happened and the way it worked out was like the weirdest thing to me, because I mean, you know your size, right? You know you're not a small channel anymore. So you know, I've got this is gonna sound really fucking pretentious. I'm gonna try to make it not sound as pretentious as. All right, so I've been around. I've worked with a lot of bigger creators in like commissions and thumbnails and stuff. So when you actually asked me, it wasn't as nerve-wracking as it could have been, but still, like, just think about like my size and your size. In any other community would this happen? No.
I don't think so.
No,
really.
It would never happen anywhere else. Markiplier wouldn't go to somebody with 2,000 subscribers and ask him to make a thumbnail. It would never happen. He would find somebody who's either his caliber or better. Like, he would find someone who's his size or in his area that he knows that is really expensive and really high quality.
Yeah, and I think that's been one of the coolest things about the narration and, you know, creepypasta type community is that, like, if we want to help each other with collaborations, there's so many ways that we can do that just easily. You know, like whenever I added some of your one of your stories to the end of a particular narration audio, it's like, and it's so convenient for the audience too, because they can get, you know, my voice or what my stories or whatever it is they're there for, and then at the end, if they're still hanging around,
I don't think, I'm gonna be honest, I really appreciate you putting me in it. I don't think anybody hung around.
Oh, okay. Oh, did it not really drive? Yeah.
No. I'm not saying like I didn't get anything from it. Like, people did come from it, but I every time I'm in somebody's video, I always like to check the comments, see if anybody like heard my voice, didn't like it, tell me why. Like, did I read too fast? Because that's been a thing on Swamp Dwellers videos. Apparently, I narrate too fast.
Okay.
But I wanted to, so I'm always checking, and obviously I'm excited. I'm in fucking Let's Read's video. Of course, I'm gonna check the comments. If it was there, I didn't see it. I did get a couple people coming over, and they were very sweet. Your audience is very sweet, and they came over and they were like, "Hey, I saw you on Let's Read's video. I think you're really fucking cool, so I'm gonna subscribe to you." So,
That's good. Yeah,
they were really sweet about it. No, I'm not saying it like I didn't get anything from it. I was expecting to be the biggest narrator after I was in your fucking video, man. What the hell happened?
Why we're not at 10,000? What's going on?
No, but that was,
it's
really cool.
It's tough because sometimes it's just like a numbers game. You know what I mean? Where you just it's like trying to figure out how to like get yourself in all facets of.
It's more of a
places.
gratification game for me. Is the fact that I did it, the fact that I was able to actually do something like that, something I never ever thought I would do. Like, I've been watching you for like 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Could you imagine me like coming home from work while I was working at the shittiest job ever, Walmart? When I was coming home from working at Walmart at like really late hours, like working from like 8 in the morning to like fucking 7 or 8 at night, and then like coming home and just having nothing. I knew I was off the next day, and then the only thing that would really cheer me up is like horror narrations and like a couple of gaming videos. And I remember one day that I came home, and I had no idea who you were. There were so many there's been so many narrators for a while, and you just I think at the time all I was listening to was Mr. Nightmare and Corpse Husband. That was basically it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I remember I fell asleep to one of Corpse Husband's videos, and I woke up at like 2 in the morning, and I heard a voice I didn't recognize. And then I looked at it, and it was like a fucking 4-hour video. And,
oh shit!
And this was like one of the first times I ever saw that. I wasn't into them at the time because like I just liked having little snippets of horror. But I gotta say there were so many topics you were picking at the time that I think it was like ghost hunting, like experiences or stories, and I'm like, where the fuck is he getting these stories?
Oh right, yeah.
And it was like nobody else was doing that. Nobody else was giving you like true experiences or really cool experiences about obscure topics. It was always lockdown stories or Walmart night shift stories. This was like so different, and I think that's why so many people like your stuff, because everything you do is really, really different. But I remember at the time, like, this guy is so fucking cool. I love this. He's doing something different. And then 4 years later, I'm making his thumbnails and I'm in one of his videos. That never happens. Like, that's the craziest thing in the world.
I appreciate it, honestly, and it's funny. You're not the first person to say that they've ended up experiencing my voice in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's weird as shit. Because I didn't at my experience, I only knew like 3 people who did it. Like there was Mr. Creepypasta, Corpse Husband, and Mr. Nightmare. That's all I knew of, and maybe Blue Spooky popped up out of nowhere, but yeah.
Yeah, I literally never know how like YouTube goes about their process of like suggesting things, you know what I mean? And so I'm happy whenever people can, especially and people that can, get 4 years use out of the videos is pretty amazing to me too, because a lot of people kind of come and go. I feel like, and it's cool whenever. Like, especially seeing people like saying that it helps them sleep or helps them with anxiety or helps them with different things like that, to me is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I worked a horrible mundane office job for 6 years, and I've told this story to other people. You're one of the 3 people that I listen to on a daily basis for 8 hours a day. So, I mean,
oh, nice.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's really beneficial as well to try to get your stuff out there to as many people as possible on different platforms. I haven't checked. Do you have your stuff on like Spotify and stuff?
I do. Yeah, that was one thing I was very happy to have been able to start was the podcast over there. Just so I think it Swamp or no, actually it was Mr. Black Pasta, if you're familiar with him.
Yeah.
He had talked about podcasting, and people kept saying like, put your stuff on podcast, put your stuff. And I was like, okay, so I reached out to him because he had mentioned about Audio Boom, and then he got me in contact with Audio Boom, and now I'm, I guess partnered with them, distributing. I think one out tomorrow. Yeah, and it's they make it so convenient, and you get out onto all the different platforms, Spotify, and the cool thing is on there I do like compilations, so like all the videos or all the narrations are like 3 hours long, so
right, so they're very good for something like that. It for anybody listening who wants the same thing but doesn't want to try to figure out how to partner with a program, Anchor.fm is a very, very useful tool. It is basically the same thing, but it's entirely free. Everything about it is free. All you're doing is uploading your stories or your audio to them, and they distribute it to Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and any other RSS feed that you can actually obtain by yourself. You can actually bring it in. Like if you get an iHeartRadio thing, you can actually bring it in and put it into Anchor if you get accepted. And it's all free. So
unless you're me and they just don't distribute anything.
Unless you're Raven and they don't put it anywhere.
Oh, really?
I turned on the distribution and it literally says available in one channel, and that's just Anchor, and I don't know what to do at this point.
It's so fucking
It just broke for me. It's funny. I don't.
It's very
so
strange.
funny.
That's all right.
I was just like, yeah, I'm currently uploading my stuff to Anchor, and he's like, wait, you got it to work? What do you mean? Yeah, I've been doing it for like a year. He's like, it's not working.
I was literally crying like that. Yes.
Yes. That's exactly what he does. So, Joel, you've been around for a while as a narrator, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I wanted to know, because I think I've asked this of who did I ask this? I think I asked Vidith because he's been around for a long time. What was the narration scene like when you first started? Like as a narrator, what was that landscape?
Yeah.
Like, I'm really curious about that because I know it's completely different now because I've been around for like 2 years, and even then it changed from when I started. So,
yeah, it definitely, whenever I first started out, it's funny enough, I always, when people talk about like Mr. Nightmare and stuff like that and how it exploded his channel is, oddly enough, we started like 1 week, like both of our channels started 1 week apart from each other. And I think he just kind of had like that focus on creepypasta right from the get-go, and that got into true scary stories. And whereas when I started, I was clueless, to this community. I was I just wanted to start a YouTube channel just like because basically I was that same kind of person who like saw PewDiePie and was like,
I want to do that.
Yeah, I was like, I can do
that was
this.
Me.
Yeah. And like, so I started off reading like Wikipedia pages and random stuff like that, and just kind of like throwing it out there till someone had turned me on to the creepypastas, and then all of a sudden I stumbled across all these huge channels that were like doing amazing with it, like Mr. Creepypasta and Creepsnipasta and all those kind of people, and yeah, so it was basically when I first started, it was all creepypasta stuff, everywhere, and the true. And really, I guess I didn't find my niche within that market until like maybe 2 or 3 years into it, where the true scary story thing started. And oddly enough, like doing true scary stories, I think to various narrators and stuff were kind of was almost to a degree looked down upon, or at least criticized, I suppose, because they felt as if though most of the true scary stories like writing styles weren't as, I guess, engaging as a well written amateur horror fiction creepypasta. So like I was apprehensive to kind of jump into that as well, but then once I gave it a try, I was like, I saw the success that it was having, and it was like getting my voice and name out there and building a fan base, and then eventually that just kind of like became my niche. But yeah, initially as far as just trying to grow, that was the hardest part. Was like that was always the constant like grind in the back of my mind, was like, how can I try to interact or collab with someone who's bigger than me that can get my that I can interact with and network with to get my voice out there a little bit. So and it was cool because you come within the creepypasta community, because it's so convenient to just send someone audio, and how kind everyone, most people in the community are really nice. And I was able to interact with, like, I think one of the first people that were substantially larger than me that helped me was King Spook, if you're familiar with him.
Yes.
He, had got me, and then all of a sudden I saw something crazy, like in one day from his or something, like the subscribers jumped up like something like 300 or something. And that just like blew my mind at the time. And that was wild. And then eventually I got onto various other places, like if you're familiar with like Blame It on George, he does a lot of like documentary stuff.
Yes,
he's real. Yeah, we're actually like IRL friends. I remember going out last year to, we went to VidCon and met him and that creepy reading, and that was so much fun. So that was one of the really amazing parts of like doing YouTube, is whenever the people that you meet online, you suddenly get to like manifest that friendship in real life. That was just like such a surreal thing to me.
I wanted to ask because I know it's really, really different from when like everything really started. Like I know for a while, out of other people's experiences, that for a while there wasn't really this tight knit community of audience members and narrators like there is now.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot more connected than it was when it started, because Twitter is like is huge now. It's like basically a necessity for anybody who's starting a channel to like try to connect to everybody. Going back on what I was saying before when I was doing the whole monologue on how I found your channel. I think it's going along the same thing. So you were trying to find your niche. How did you start finding the stories? Because I remember seeing that you were doing stuff at that time that nobody else was really picking from. So what was your currently and I guess back then, or just how your whole thing goes of your story picking process? Like how do you find those things?
Yeah, it can definitely be difficult at times for sure. And I kind of would like to get back into that because they are hard to come by.
Right.
Like some of the more interesting things to me have been a lot of the paranormal stuff, a lot of the like sort of cryptid type stories, and then you would kind of come across various communities that would have experiences like that on Reddit primarily. Yeah. And maybe other places like different forums and that kind of thing. But it was hard for sure and especially like leave a message or something and get in contact to see if they would be cool with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I wish I would like my channel to get back to doing more paranormal stories, primarily from what people submit to the Reddit r/paranormal subreddit and various other ones. It's just like the bad thing about YouTube sometimes is that you can put out a video, like stalker stories or whatever it might be, and it will do your conventional views that you're expected to see on the channel. But then you're kind of like trucking along, and maybe you even see like an uptick in like monthly views. But then as soon as I were to do something paranormal, people would be stoked to like hear about it again. But because it gets like say 50 to 75% of the views normally, YouTube like takes that data and almost to a degree sort of like punishes you, and it kind of stinks because
I really enjoy doing that stuff.
Yeah, it's like I really like that content, but I also like want to like it seems like everything about YouTube is maintained in sort of momentum.
Yeah.
And
so anything that disrupts the flow is frowned upon.
Exactly. And especially a channel that like uploads consistently, it's so strange. Like I've just noticed certain patterns where it's like some channels that like upload once a month tend to do like better than a channel that uploads like in my case like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And but then all of a sudden like a channel that was uploading once a month goes to like once a week, and all of a sudden their views go down, and then you just like feel bad. You're like, what is you just like, but then you also see channels that like upload daily or maybe even twice a day, and then they're getting like 1,000 subscribers a day or something wild like that or more, and you're just like trying to correlate these different patterns and what would be good to help your channel. And it's just eventually you kind of just like have to pick what's like good for your mental health and just like stick to that.
Do you think that it's just YouTube likes consistency no matter how consistent it actually is? Like if they notice because they're all based on algorithms. So if somebody uploads once a month, like you said, and they're consistent in that, and it is once a month, and it's around the same time every month, then that is their consistency. Mm-hmm. And someone like you who uploads like 3 times a week, like that's going to be your consistency. As soon as you disrupt the flow and add another video or get rid of one, YouTube's like, what are you fucking doing? You're supposed to keep this.
Yeah.
And as soon as that one person decides to that one person who does one video a month decides to do 2 videos a month, they're like, hey, whoa. We only allotted you 1 video. What are you doing?
Exactly. Yeah. It's hard to tell. Like I'm like almost like starting to think like, is it just because of like, what do they call it? Like view velocity, where YouTube seems to only be taking into consideration how many views it gets in that like first 24 hours on whether or not it continues to recommend it out to not just, your base subscribers, which you would hope that like it would do conventionally, but it seems like you almost have to like earn that, first, to then, suggesting it to new people as well, or new viewers. And that tends to be almost like 50% sometimes of like the amount of views that people will get on a video is just suggested to new people, which also correlates to new subscribers as well. So I almost feel like, as soon as your audience that's used to seeing you post once a month sees you start posting once a week or something like that, suddenly that view velocity decreases. And then that tends to, in my perspective, I'm not sure if this is true at all, but it just seems like it plays into the algorithmic aspect of whether or not you will continue to succeed, you know what I mean? Or like at least the success that you're having is accelerating, which is tough, because I think a lot of times in life, everybody kind of expects like, you just always expect like forward momentum.
Right.
You know?
And YouTube is definitely like forward brick wall, forward brick wall, forward brick wall, plateau, forward brick wall. Like,
yeah. It's been weird. And you never like, and because it's so hard to decipher what it is, through like the, basic like mind training or like positive feedback loops of what you're doing right or wrong. It's really hard to determine.
You don't really get much info besides what your subscribers tell you. And if your subscribers aren't noticing anything, then you're basically on your own to try to figure out why the hell nothing's working. Like, why are my views slowing down, or, why is my subscriber count kind of slowing down? It's just, there's no the only thing YouTube tells you, and this is the shittiest one, is when you go onto your thing after you post a video, if you go onto your dashboard, and then they're just like, your views aren't, this is the lowest average you've had since 2 months ago. Like, thanks. They just like shit all over you. Like, I was so happy with that one, but okay.
It seems like you didn't put deodorant on today.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. They just shit on you for no reason.
Exactly.
They're just, I sense that you didn't take a shower for 3 days.
Next time, maybe think about brushing your teeth before uploading a video.
Oh my God, could you imagine YouTube just
Please don't give them ideas.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, they'll start reading into they'll start having like actual team to just go through certain videos.
Analyze like metaphysical concepts.
Oh my God. You really should have fucking brushed your hair, because Jesus Christ.
This video contained 33% more mouth noise than your average video.
Right. Yeah. They would definitely do that. We want to classify this as ASMR now. Sorry.
And you're like, what? It's a gaming video.
No.
I'm just playing Among Us.
Are you eating a banana?
They'll put in advertisements just for what's going on in the video. So like if you're eating banana, they give you like an ad for Dole. Oh my God, that would be so good.
And then you're like monkey videos afterwards.
We're talking the future at this point. You realize that, right? This is what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, they're probably already thinking about it, and they're like, they already know. We got to put it out now. Like they've just been holding it on the back burner for a while, and they're like, we just gotta wait for someone to say it.
It's all there. Like, I think that's the most interesting aspect about AI right now, is like, it's all kind of like in our face whenever people make that, that meme joke where they get done talking to their friend about, roller skates or something. And then they get like an ad on Instagram for roller skates or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, or even just as basic as like what's suggested in your feed next, like, the concept of like collecting like massive data to essentially create like your profile is I think just such a powerful tool to these companies that to a degree it's kind of terrifying, because I'm sure that there's other algorithmic data in there that they are able to analyze to almost like that they sell to other companies completely unrelated to like trying to sell you a product that is pretty much able to determine almost everything about you, whether they can use the data from your phone on which you're traveling to and fro to work or your grocery store or wherever to know exactly your 10-mile radius around your home.
Oh my God.
To exactly who you're going to, what movies you're going to see or who you're going to vote for, all that kind of random stuff. And it's just, it's insane. It's, I remember hearing somebody make like a sort of interesting correlation where they talked about like, we have like godlike AI, but then we have like archaic institutions or something of that nature. So it's going to be weird soon whenever essentially the robots are going to take over. That's where I was going.
100%.
So
big
I actually have a question about the landscape of YouTube, since we talked about how the future of things, how it's going. Just curious, like what do you see for the future of this landscape for people who are just starting out, for smaller channels like Dark and I? And I want you, I mean, obviously I want to say I don't want, everything's perfect and rainbows, because with some of the things that have happened, there's obviously been some concern. So I'm just curious what your thoughts as a veteran and essentially the epitome of quality in this industry, community is. Just curious on
that. It's been interesting, like seeing new people pop up, because as certain markets tend to become oversaturated, say with the true scary story area, you all of a sudden notice different aspects within the horror community or things of that nature, like people tend to gravitate towards what the market is kind of looking for. So like I've seen people pop up who do a lot of like internet mysteries and things like that, or maybe more higher production value, like documentary stuff. And all of a sudden they're blowing up, but to a degree that requires a substantial, like a lot more steps, I suppose, as far as the work goes. And, but then, other people will figure out like, whenever I start to think like, oh, maybe pastas are not what they used to be or something as far as like building a new audience. But then all of a sudden I see, people like Mr. Creeps or like Dark Somnium, they post like daily, and and then all of a sudden they're getting like 1,000 subs a day and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, this, there's always, I think that's all I can suggest to new people coming in, is that if you can think creatively or innovatively in some fashion, eventually there's going to be something that rewards you, you know what I mean? And as far as what efforts you put in, but a lot of people want to sort of emulate what others are doing, which is, I think, to a degree a good thing. But if you can do that emulation, but then like innovate on top of that, you might really see some faster positive feedback as far as like growing your YouTube channel. It just sometimes requires a lot of like hit and miss kind of thing.
I actually completely agree with that and understand that, because honestly, at the beginning, I tried to emulate you. So complete honesty on that.
It's tough trying to find that route,
Right. And it wasn't necessarily that I wanted to emulate you to be like you and be popular. It was more your stuff is what I was used to, what I knew and what I liked. So just trying to make something I liked, I kind of started off, I guess, thinking that I had to do a video and be similar to how you did it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
no, for sure. Yeah. I mean, that's how I was with, looking at other channels like Mr. Creepypasta and stuff. I was like, even just down to like, little details of copying their description. You know what I mean? Like you just, you think like, okay, that's having
trying
success.
To steal mine.
Right. Yeah. It all comes full circle here. Yeah.
It's really good. It's really
take
funny.
Little pieces here and there.
I'm curious to what you think, because I'm going back on algorithms and everything, but I'm curious what you think about like how they choose what to show you on your homepage, when you're actually like watching other things, because I think it's annoying as shit when I click on one Spider-Man Miles Morales video and I get 1,000, even though I watch a bunch of other things. I get none of those other things, just one, nothing else.
I know And I think that's like YouTube's, and I've heard them talk about this, where like, and that's been part of the issue where you build up like 700,000 subscribers or something like that, but it's hard enough to get a small percentage of them to come to a video because in YouTube's mind, rather than giving you like a 1-to-1 ratio as your, your uploads, you upload, you get that many views, you upload, you get, and you would hope that it would just be as simplistic as that. But it seems as if, though, in their mind, they only care about how much they can maintain people on their website. But they also understand that everyone's attention spans are, lesser than that of a goldfish, but at the same time, I don't think that that's always the case, but I think that's the way that they perceive things based on their data. And so in their mind, they think, okay, we got to just like after, we got to disperse them to pretty much every diverse aspect of our of our website so that we can keep their attention and keep them, maybe they get bored of creepypastas this week and they want to move on to Spider-Man videos and fighting Elsa and all that kind of stuff or whatever. But yeah, it's it definitely seems as if though, as soon as you like even give them an inkling that you have like a mild interest in something else, they will take you down that rabbit hole as far as possible.
I would just like to know when Nexpo posts a video and not 2 days later. It's just...
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That's really... Because, he posts so rarely. I would like to know when he does. It's nice.
Yeah.
The fact that I have the bell ticked and I still don't get anything. Like,
I know, that's the weirdest thing to me is that you almost have to, follow them on every other aspect of social media and join their Discord and all this kind of stuff to like bypass YouTube's terrible notification system. And because I remember, I once in a while watch like say like Dr. Disrespect, on like when he's like live streaming and stuff. And I saw sometimes I'll get on my homepage and see he's on there. But when it comes to like notifications in the top right, I've gotten nothing, as in regards to like him going live or anything like that. And it's not like a huge deal to me, but I realize I'm like, this translates directly to me, where I often ponder why, like halfway through my live streams, that I've done relatively frequently, like I'll always get like comments like, what the hell, YouTube? Nobody notified me, or what the hell, YouTube? Or I just got here and it's over, and and I feel terrible because that can be up to like
the last live stream you did. I popped in maybe an hour after you started. I didn't get that notification until about 30 seconds before.
Yeah,
that's not fucking cool at all. Like, what if you decided to only stream for an hour?
Right, exactly, and
then
honestly,
it's just gone.
Yeah, and that's sometimes how it goes because my content, I'm not like gaming, so I can't do it for like 8 hours. And I don't know if in their mind they're like, well, that's the kind of people we want live streamer, the ones that are on there for long periods of time so that you can maximize the number of individuals there. But it's strange because you go into Twitch and Twitch's, approach to that is the exact opposite, where they're like, let me spam your fucking, butthole with new notifications. And then you go to that person you're watching their live stream and they've already got like their typical 2,000 people watching them. And I'm
as soon as someone goes live on Twitch, it's immediately in people's notifications. And if YouTube wants longer streams, fix your fucking live stream thing, man. It's terrible. It's so bad. If I wasn't on YouTube, I wouldn't be using it. Like, if my whole audience was on Twitch, I wouldn't even think about YouTube.
Right.
Oh, my God. It's so bad. Speaking of Twitch and YouTube, I had something happen the other day, another algorithm-based thing, where I was watching somebody stream a game, and then I got stuff for the game on YouTube. I had not watched anything about that game on YouTube. But now it seems like either they're pulling stuff just from like Twitch searches or something, or they're seeing popular. I don't know what it is, but
it's going to be your temp files and cookies in your browser.
Yeah, that's really fucked up because I had not searched up like anything about like Black Ops Cold War or anything on YouTube. I watched somebody streaming it on Twitch, and then all of a sudden, as soon as the stream was over, I went back to YouTube, full of it. All of it was full. I had not searched a damn thing up on YouTube about Black Ops Cold War, but I have now an entire homepage covered in it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
wild.
like on the same website. I can't fucking escape these fuckers.
Yeah, you really can't. I mean, I don't want to say it's all part of like some, grander monopoly or whatever of social media, but I know for a fact that it's like they all exist within the same sort of world of Silicon Valley. And whether you're using, Google Chrome as your primary, or is that what you're using for your browser?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you mentioned as well about the whole cookies, and I know that they share data amidst each other. I'm sure that they just transfer that back and forth to kind of help each other algorithmically, but it's all oddly and strangely interconnected that it's next to impossible to avoid.
The only time I ever gotten something that happened like that, and I actually was okay with it, is when I said I wanted McDonald's, and then literally like 2 seconds later on Facebook, McDonald's.
Yeah, right.
It was just right there, but they had given me a deal that I haven't seen before, so I was like, all right.
Yeah.
That's, you know what, that's good use of it. Fuck it. They're showing me something I never actually thought I would see. They gave me a deal that I didn't know was going on. There we go.
I hate that I can actually speak to the technical side of that, because IT stuff I used to do was government, and the websites, what we would do is it would read the cookies, and if you got to the website by searching how to renew your driver's license in Kansas or whatever, it would show you on the front screen the driver's license renewal page. Like, it would force that over. So
okay.
it is absolutely temp files, cookies, shit like that. It's terrifying how much data you give to companies on a daily basis.
Right. Yeah, it's your privacy is pretty much
non-existent. Yeah.
Yep.
But you hope to a degree that it only gets used to sell you stuff, but I'm sure
probably not.
When it behooves them, they will do whatever.
I mean, it's really scary what we trust, the internet with. We trust the internet with literally our entire lives, like our bank account numbers, our social security numbers, our driver's license ID numbers. Like it's things that people can literally steal everything from us.
Yeah.
Of just one of those things.
Yep.
And it's all there. It's all right there.
Yeah.
It's so scary. I was just talking about that. How I used to be like fully like cash. Like I would just pull out all my money because I was scared somebody was gonna take it. I don't know what happened. I just kind of just stopped doing that, and now I'm all digital. My fucking bank is not physical at all. It's just digital.
Okay.
Which is scary.
That is kind of scary.
Because the whole thing can just fucking disappear, and then I have no money.
Could. Yeah, that would be terrifying.
I mean, so far it's cool, but I just think it's really scary that one day all of the internet can either siphon everybody's shit out or shut down, and I'm fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. That is kind of strange. The
internet can just disappear, and I have no money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever. That's it.
Welcome to 2020.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really scary. Just and like I had broken my phone yesterday, not on purpose.
Snapped it. Huh?
No, I had taken it out of the case to like wipe it down, and it slipped out of my hand and hit the side of my radiator.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically, I don't know what happened, but the top left of it cracked, and I guess kind of it got like, how do I explain this? It like shoved the connector loose, so I can see the notification bar. And I can actually, the screen works under it, but the entire thing is dead.
Oh, okay.
So I can't do anything. The scariest bit was when I realized that my bank account app was on there.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And until I found out how to get another phone, I wouldn't be able to see my deposits, if a transaction was happening, nothing. And if I wanted to fix anything or transfer funds or see how much I had in my account, and my power went out after it cracked.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're just like, damn, I guess I'm off the grid. I'm going to go eat pine cones.
I was freaking the fuck out. My phone cracked. I'm like, shit. All right, guess I gotta go on like eBay or Amazon, try to find a replacement till I can actually get a proper one. And then I get on my fucking computer. Boom, shuts off. Everything's gone. everything's down, and I'm just sitting there with my cracked phone, and I didn't realize how dependent I was on technology until that moment.
Yeah, so you couldn't go on a browser.
I couldn't go on a browser to try to fix my situation.
Yikes.
I couldn't tell anybody. I couldn't tell my girlfriend, like, hey, my power went out. This is why I haven't texted you back or anything. Like, nothing. My phone was cracked, completely dead.
You're just a non-existent
all of my information as a person was in this phone, and now I can't even get onto the internet to try to access anything.
Jeez.
It fucking killed me. And like, that's such a first world problem.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's. I mean,
it's
that's
just.
how
I mean, I don't feel like. I feel like it's a first world problem for the phone thing, but it isn't, because I trusted this thing to have all my stuff. I don't have to do that. It's not required of me to have everything that I own in this phone. Like, I can totally still just get paper checks and, have it all just taken out immediately. I can have everything off the grid and just for me. But I decided, hey, this is what I want to do. And as soon as it cracked, my whole world crumbled. One mishap and my whole shit was fucked.
Yeah.
It was scary.
We're all going to be connected via VR, and then they're just going to
I cannot wait for Full Dive. I'm so excited. Bro, I've been watching Sword Art for years.
Oh god, yeah.
I'm so ready for Full Dive.
But yeah, it's gonna be like more.
I don't give a fuck if I get stuck. I don't give a fuck if I get stuck. I don't care. If I get stuck, if I get stuck in the game, it's probably better than here. Whatever. That's cool.
Jeez, dude.
I don't give a fuck.
Are you okay, Dark?
Yeah, I've just always thought about it like, this world sucks. I'm gonna go in that one. I'm gonna stay there for a little bit.
Yeah,
figure shit out.
You're like eating a steak, but it's like putting like peanut butter and jelly into your IV or something.
I like it.
You're like, oh, this is so scrumptious, and you're just scrawny sitting in a fucking hospital bed.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That is like the Matrix whenever it came out.
Yeah, they're all baby smooth. Yeah. I love it. Oh my god. That's actually like it's happening, right? Like, they're really working on that. Full Dive. Like a couple months ago, my friend Josh showed me a video of where they finally figured out how to put these like nodes on people's like temples and stuff, and they were able to actually, while thinking about it in the game, they were able to move an object with their mind.
Wow.
Like, it was something simple of like levitating the brick, but it was still like, that's farther than I ever thought we would get now.
Right.
Like, that's technology starting. And you know how fast technology moves. As soon as they see they can do something, they fucking spearhead that shit forever until it's just as good as it could be. That's what I love about technology. Is like, as soon as they figure out how to make something really cool, they figure out how to mass produce that on an exponential scale. Yeah,
I remember briefly looking into similar stuff where it was especially like communicating, like, or figuring out how to physically communicate telepathically. As weird as that sounds, like the concept of telepathy and it being physical, like, say perhaps they were able to create some correlation between the particular waves that you emit from your mind, whether it be alpha, theta, whatever it might be, and then just through the process of science and trial and error, determine that this particular wave means this reason, or you know what I mean. So it's I'm not surprised. Eventually, I mean, we figured out how to transfer our sound waves through various signals. Then, like right now, this having a discussion on Discord, I'm sure we'll eventually be able to unlock the power of the mind. It's pretty wild.
I mean, in the last 10 years, cars are like, a lot of cars are fully fucking electric. Mm-hmm. They have figured out how to put fucking tablets as dashboards. Like, like they have figured out how to take the iPhone and turn all of that into a revolutionized market of smartphones, a completely different breed of thing. And VR itself is now a thing. Proper VR is a thing now. You can you can put your hands in game. You can walk around. You can sit down and have a chat with your friend that looks like he's sitting right across from you, but he's actually across the world from you. Like that's something in the last 10 years that's what happened. Like 10 years ago that didn't exist.
10 years ago that was sci-fi.
10 years ago that would have blown my fucking mind.
That's what I'm saying. That would have been like early 2000s, late 90s sci-fi, and now it's reality.
If you were going to tell me in 2020 that's the reality it would be, I would have like a fucking piece of glass that literally told me everything. Like anything I wanted was just right here. Bro, if you told me 10 years ago I can order Wendy's from an app and it showed up on my doorstep, I would have shit my pants.
Yeah, right.
DoorDash is another one of those things. DoorDash is another one of those things where if you would have told me 10 years ago, I would have been able to order Subway or Burger King randomly, and then all of a sudden 20 minutes later, sitting on my doorstep? No way. I would have thought you were crazy.
Yeah. And yeah, I think as people continue to feel apprehensive about their existence within the physical reality because of something like COVID,
we're going to turn it to Ready Player One for sure.
Yeah, it's going to push people towards that,
I mean, I'm down for the Oasis. That sounds cool. That'd be pretty dope.
Didn't that guy just make Ready Player 2 also?
I think it just came out. That book just came out, yeah. I'm pretty stoked for it. I haven't been able to afford it yet, but because I like to listen to audiobooks and not physical stuff, but audiobooks are a lot more expensive than physical books. So
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I mean, I have the premium for Audible, but you only get 1 credit per month, and I'm like, you realize how many books I listen to? Like,
yeah.
So I've been trying to go through all the Harry Potter books again, and they're like $30 a piece.
Oh, geez. When they're normally with the physical
copy, I could pick up for like 20 cents. Like, it's not even.
Right, exactly. That's interesting.
The paperback is like fucking $1 at some flea markets, like.
And there's not some place you can. Sorry, people in the chat say just steal it from the library.
That too.
That's pretty good. Yeah, just steal it from the library. I wish I could just reach inside my phone and just steal the book.
Yeah,
that'd be great. I mean, I don't have to listen to audiobooks. It's just nice that I'm at work and I can. And I think that goes back to what I was trying to say in the beginning is that it's really good for people like us to get all of our stuff out on as many platforms as we can, like Spotify, and because people like me listen to it at work. Like, I not only listen to audiobooks, but I also listen to like Mr. Creepypasta's stuff. He puts his Tales from the Gas Station stuff on there. So
okay.
And Dark Somnium does the same thing, and and if you're listening to Dark Somnium stuff on the go, it's like eargasms. Like it's. The amount of sound effects and like music effects that guy puts into his stuff, listening to it on the go feels like I'm just listening to a movie, but I can't see the picture. It's insane.
And that's all we're looking for most of the time. It's just like something that tickles our brain.
Yeah, like I was listening to one where he was why we didn't return. I know why we didn't return to the moon, and the effects of like the voice, and he put like screeches of the alien, and it was all distorted like it was on a recorder or something, and he had like crashes of the craft as it hit the planet, and and he had rocket effects when they shot off of the moon. It was so cool.
Yeah, he does. He puts a lot of effort into his stuff, which is very impressive.
Yeah.
I should probably reorganize up at the top of my because I saw on his channel he has his Spotify like is the first link on like up at the top of his banner. I'm like, mine has Patreon, but I probably should put the podcast. I feel like people would be interested in that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that actually, funny enough, there's people who have come over from Spotify, and that's how they found me.
Right, which always blows my mind. I'm like, okay, I guess that.
Like, I don't even know how they did that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, since I don't really use podcasts or like, just in general. Like, I listen to stuff like through YouTube most of the time. So I'm like, how did they stumble across, a podcast?
Yeah, I have no idea. I doubt there's like that much of a. Maybe there is. Maybe there's a huge like horror narration presence on like the podcast platforms. Like, the only thing I can think of is the No Sleep podcast, but that's about it. I doubt, like, if they listen to that, they would recommend us, because it's, like, a completely different type of thing, but I don't know. I have no idea how they stumble across my shit. But the funny part is that my stuff on the podcast platforms does 10 times better than my stuff on YouTube. Like, my view count and my view count and my sponsorship base is, like, way bigger on Spotify for some reason. I have no idea why.
Yeah, well, that's awesome though. I mean, it lets you know that that's probably the future for a lot of.
Maybe if YouTube dies, that's where narrators go. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's I mean, I definitely, it seems like a lot of new video sharing platforms are popping up. I can't imagine YouTube will like be out the door or be replaced by much, because they almost, to a degree, it's like they hold the infrastructure in a similar fashion that, like,
there is as much as people. I saw something that's like there's a love-hate relationship. There's a love-hate, a lot of hate relationship with YouTube. But the love part is you have to love to hate the fact that there's nothing like it. There's not a single thing that is as easy to upload a video and as easy to access a video. Like, just right here. It's all here. It's all right. There's not a single other fucking video sharing platform that does it. A lot of people would try to mimic it, but there is not a single thing that I can find anything to watch on YouTube. A lot of people, just like myself, use this as their primary content consumption.
Right.
So
you got everything.
Yeah, there's just everything here, and it's never been this easily accessible. The only shit part about YouTube is a lot, but like the main two things, I think, for the creator side, we never know how the algorithm is going to toss us a fucking tornado and destroy our whole shit.
Right.
And on the audience side, getting the videos from our, content creators when we expect them is like a gamble. We never know if we're going to actually see something 3 days later after it posts, or like as soon as it comes out. And it's always going to be a gamble on both sides. But for right now, this is the best platform for what a lot of people are doing. And I don't really think there's really ever going to be anything like it. If it ever does get replaced, there's never going to be another thing like it.
Yeah, there was one thing that kind of scared me in relation to like new creators coming onto YouTube, but also current creators. Is I'm sure you had seen that people had talked about how they changed their TOS.
I did hear about that, where people can get ads on their videos even when they're not monetized.
Right. And it's like, say someone's been working their butt off to get, like, 4,000 hours of watch time, 1,000 subscribers, that kind of thing. They're working as hard as they can to eventually become monetized on
We're looking at you, Raven.
Yeah.
I'm monetized now.
No, but like he was uploading, he was constantly like fucking grinding out content constantly.
And I'm still doing it.
I know, you never stopped, and you were supposed to like lay back a little after you got there, so you could like, all right, like just breathe a little bit.
It's momentum, though. That's the problem.
I get it.
Yeah, but that's the scary thing is that for newer people, just hypothetically, it's like, what's the motivation for YouTube to include as many people as possible into their partnership program whenever they know that they're making just as much money from, running advertisements on their videos anyways, and
that is scary.
It's just, and then also for new people too, like, does it motivate? Well, I guess if you were a larger creator who like somehow got kicked out.
That's what I was gonna think. Is like, what if you got demonetized? Like your whole channel just got demonetized, and there's no hope of getting it back. And then you just see ads on your videos. Like they're still making money off of you.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Or even say like they figure out a way to algorithmically, like once in a while, some of your videos go yellow or something, or like aren't advertiser friendly, or it says something like that.
That would be the biggest fuck you. It's just they monetize your whole channel for not being advertiser friendly, and then put ads of their own on it. Like what you just told me.
So like you still make money here and there with various videos, but then they sort of nickel and dime you by making some off of your video, videos without you getting anything in return.
Well, and
that's just a conspiracy.
right. Well, it kind of. I actually saw your maker was posting about that, how this does to some extent incentivize them to make it harder for channels to monetize, because whenever you're monetized, YouTube only gets 40%. Whenever you're not monetized, they get 100. Why would they want you to be monetized and take 60% of what they could have?
Oh, that's exactly true too. Yeah.
That's right. Your maker mentioned it, and I was curious on that.
And there's an argument of like, well, if they don't have people to make the content, then there's not going to be a YouTube. It goes back on the same thing of like, there is nothing else right now. People are still going to make the content because there is nowhere else to go.
But that's the thing; they can still dangle the proverbial donut in front of your face, saying, "Hey, look, you could get money out of this, if you do hard enough, if you work hard enough." And then it just never happens.
Yeah, it would be really, and it's also really fucked up with people who've already worked hard to get there and have been working hard. Like Let's Read, for example, gets demonetized tomorrow, and they're just like, "Hey, we'll give it back to you if you work hard." And you're like, "What else have I been doing this whole fucking time?"
Right.
Like,
I've been working hard for like fucking 6 years. No, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's scary, and that's the sort of volatility of YouTube is frustrating. Also kind of like, as we've talked about before, starting to see like, if you've been doing a channel for a while, seeing your views decrease or your subscribers decrease, it's just like all these various things. And I think that's what's so important about, keeping in the back burner of your mind. How can you learn how to be independent of their sort of advertising revenue aspects, like whether it's through independently or, crowdfunding, or it's, finding independent sponsors, or, going to a podcast platform, like trying to diversify yourself as much as possible. So, all of your eggs aren't just in one basket.
Yeah. But then you get a sponsorship and people throw a fit about that.
Yeah. That's the funny part is like, people don't want ads. I'm like, all right, fuck it, whatever. People don't want mid-rolls. People don't want like all this crazy ad shit. Fine. I'll add one ad here, and I'll put a sponsor. There we go. It's like, but now you're selling out. Like, I don't know what you want. I don't. It's like, or you instead of like, hey, well, if you pay the $10, you can actually get YouTube Premium, and you have no ads. I also get a fixed amount. Like, I actually get more money than I would have if you would just watch the ad. So how about you do that? Like, no, I don't want to pay. I'm like, all right, if you're not going to pay and you don't want ads, I have to put sponsors. No, now you're selling out. I don't know what the fuck you want me to do.
Right. Well, it's lose-lose, kind of thing with a lot of people. And sometimes, you just have to.
You're giving them options to not have ads. So they're like, well, I said no ads, and you're just putting an ad now that I can't skip.
Right, yeah.
Sorry, just random thought on that, because we're talking about sponsorships now, and actually I read something that's really interesting that I should probably talk about. Obviously, people use ad blockers to block the ads, which really screws over people that are monetized.
Right.
So we end up on the sponsorships. From what I read on Reddit, there is actually an add-on that you can add to Firefox and Chrome that will check the audio of the video for sponsorship parts and highlight them so you can skip them.
Oh, okay. That is not.
That's one of those things where it's like, well, okay, I don't know. It's really weird to me. Like, I get that YouTube is a technically free platform. Let's say that, but blocking ads really does hurt the creators. I don't think people.
And what the sponsorship thing is like, as soon as you hear like, and this is and a word from our sponsor, just hit the skip button. Just skip it. You can literally just hit the fucking arrow key on your keyboard and it'll go forward. Like, I don't understand. You can literally skip that and it won't hurt the creator. Like, we got sponsored just, we got paid to tell you about this. If you don't want to hear it, skip it.
Yeah. And that is the nice thing about the sponsorships is that, you can, like, usually mine, if I do them, and they're in the beginning of the video. And
the audience members don't have to listen to it.
Yeah.
You already got paid for it.
Yeah.
But no, they're just like, oh, you're selling out. Like, I'm trying to make a living here. I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah. There's always going to be. And I'm fortunate that, like, I don't get a lot of, like, for the size that my channel is, like, that I don't get a lot of, like, consistent hate, because, a lot of those negative comments, no matter what they are, they kind of, like, stick with me. You know what I mean? Like, as compared to just all the positive comments. So, it's... trying to turn that off in the brain is difficult at times.
I don't get a lot of negative comments, but when I do, it just like hurts, like it hits.
Yeah,
because like there's
yeah.
not enough of the negative comments for me to feel numb to it yet. So like I'm just if it was happening all the time, like every video I post, there's like the cool people and there's like a couple of like, oh fuck you, this sucks so bad.
Yeah.
But no, but it's starting to happen more frequently, and I'm not liking it. I'm like, no, go back to how it was.
Right. It's like if you don't have haters, you're not doing it right. Is what
it's true. I knew. All right. So there is a hater. I don't know who he is.
I'll find him.
but it's really, I find it really funny that every single time I post a video, within the first 5 seconds of the video going up, there's a dislike.
Yeah, I noticed on your live stream you had a dislike.
Yeah, that fucking dislike was there before the event even started.
That dislike showed up whenever YouTube pushed out the 30 minutes to go live notification.
He disliked it before.
On for you.
Yeah.
Like they have the notifications on for you, so you're getting that. But
he has his bell. He has the fucking bell on just to dislike my shit.
Waiting on
That's how much of whoever this is an asshole, because I didn't even get to go on my podcast yet. He's just like, no, I already know. Like,
and of course,
it's gonna suck.
That one person is the one person that the bell is working for.
Right.
That's fucking so annoying. That's so annoying because I'll have people like message me on Twitter or put it in their comments like, I just saw this now. Like you posted this like 2 days ago, but this guy's getting it like within the fucking second it's posted.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's so messed up.
He's got like a script going or something.
Oh my god, he has like a fucking.
He made a bot just to
watch
you.
He has a bot just to dislike me.
The hater bot. You can download it on Chrome.
It's every video too. Within like the second that the video's up, there's a dislike, and I know it's the same person. Yeah. It's he. You're right. He has a script like, oh, this person posted, dislike. There we go. It does it all for him. He's probably not even at his computer when it happens. He probably just did it. Oh, sorry.
No, I just remember there was like a bunch of like a dislike bot going around 2 years ago or something like that. People were just in the creepypasta community were getting hit by it was like a 1-to-1 ratio of likes to dislikes, and it was very strange. I got that on a few videos, and it is discouraging, but it surprisingly didn't really like hurt the.
I just want to know who it is. I just want to talk to the guy. Like, hey, are you all right?
Yeah.
I just like to believe this guy has an Amazon cloud server that he's renting to do this against you.
Yeah.
Right.
He just has.
He probably did it. He probably did it one time. Like, all right, for the next 5 videos, I'm gonna have this script running, and it's just gonna dislike the next 5 videos that he posts, and he just forgot about it. And he comes back like 2 years later. He's like, oh shit, it's still going, and he's like, have I disliked ever? Oh my god,
I'm still disliking.
He's like, fuck, I actually watch him now. Shit. Yeah. All right. Well, that seems like it's a good spot to end it. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been a treat to have you here. I've always wanted to sit down and talk with you about YouTube as a whole, because bigger YouTubers have not a bigger understanding, just they have more experience in the field of what we're all doing. So I always like to. It's always interesting to know like what stuff is like, what the stuff on the the top end of the spectrum is going.
Yeah, and I appreciate getting your guys' input too, because I sometimes, whenever you're like having success, you tend to like sort of ignore things that could be really helpful and like growing the channel or paying attention to different back end stuff with YouTube. And I always feel like a lot of like creators that are kind of finding their footing tend to be actually more aware of that, which is awesome. So I appreciate you guys kind of opening my mind to a lot of different things here.
Well, we definitely loved having you on, and if you ever want to come back on, we would love to have you. Specifically when I'm not sick, because I feel like ass right now, and trying to get any sentences out that didn't sound like garbage was such a struggle. And this is not how I wanted this to go, but.
This is a lot of fun, honestly, and a couple weeks, months, whenever you guys are ready to chat again or something else going on down on YouTube, definitely down to chat
whenever
again.
whenever you're free, or you ever want to come back, well, we're always open to it. We'll put you in somewhere.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll make it work.
Yeah, we'll make it work. We'll make it work for you, Joel. We love you.
Absolutely. I will make Dark make it work.
Even if he's like on a ventilator, he's gonna be doing.
I told him I was feeling like shit and I thought I was gonna have a fever, and he's like, "Well, you better fucking." He was like, "Let's Reed's coming on. You better fucking."
I may have given him choice words. It happens.
You did give me choice. I was like, "Well, if I'm not melting, I'll be there."
Yeah. The bottom of the volcano.
Yeah, if I'm not literally like adhered to the side of my bed.
Infused.
Yeah, infused with my fucking blankets. I'll be there. But yeah, thank you so much, Joel, for coming on, because this was a lot of fun and it was a dream come true to have you here. And I know it's a little sappy, but it's we've been watching you for so long, and you have inspired not only me and Raven, but a lot of other people to do what we do. So it was really cool to just finally sit down and talk to you after, all the years that we watched you.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you so much for, the help with thumbnails going forward. It's honestly been just a really awesome thing.
You just reminded me I have to get that one to you by tonight.
Oh yeah, I'll be waiting now. I'm just kidding.
No, I'll definitely. I just gotta probably lay down because this was a lot.
He'll have it done.
No worries.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's Reach channel is in the description, as well as Raven's Twitter and YouTube down there. Next week, we are going to have Uncle Coco on. I don't know the time yet. We haven't really set that, but he's going to be on, and I'm super excited for that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week for another episode of the DarkNest Podcast. I'm TD and Horror Stories. See you later.
Well, this is Raven.
Goodbye.
I love you.
I love you.